and we have another episode of our Sundays watch list. So this week we're gonna see what we can find that is in the stock market that's gonna make us some money this week. But not only that, we about to add another tool to our toolkit so that way we can learn how to fish on our own and make money on a consistent basis. So what we typically look on the Sundays watch list is our technical analysis. So we're looking at our charts, but not only the charts make the stock move, or we can notice what moves it, but also is the news. So we have to utilize tools like MarketWatch. So marketwatch.com, it's a free website, but you can subscribe if you want to pretty much get all the extra features. But you can just pretty much look up these pieces of news that it has on its homepage. So the number one stock that we're looking at is Apple. So as we're looking at Apple, Apple had some good news last week. So as we started off, Apple pretty much passed Amazon in the market count, and it also is above Microsoft as well. So it's pretty much saying that Apple is one of the richest grossing companies in the whole entire stock market. All right. So I think it made over $20 billion, right? So that's something where you want to know a market cap, somewhere you're going to have your money at and investing in, that's going to give you more security to continue to invest into a company. So that means shareholders is going to feel more comfortable keeping their shares. Also, it's talking about how Apple stock rises. But the biggest news that I see right here is what's going to go on Apple's 2021 Worldwide Developers Conference on Monday. So this is going to be big. This is when they announce the new phones, the new iPads, and the new software that they got coming out, and the new updates that's going to make people want to buy into Apple within the next year or two. All right. So we know it's going to be a lot of new things coming out. A lot of people are going to get excited. So guess what? We're going to have people buying into this Apple stock. So as we go back and look at our charts, which is our technical analysis, we can see right here this red line that I got right here. We see that it's pretty much has created a support line. And as we look at that red line, we can see the support line sits about at 123. And we can see them bounce on this area several times in the past. So historically, it's been a support line. And also, we can see this dark green line right here. We are on that 200-day moving average. So hopefully, this news, along with this volume we had on Friday, we look down here. We had pretty much good volume on Friday. It was bullish, and hopefully that news and everything that's coming out on the Worldwide Developer Conference is gonna make Apple make a nice little jump up. I can see it needs to break about 126, that 126 area. For me to be real comfortable, I say about 126.75. It need to break that area. So if it can break that 126.75, I can see a nice movement up. Also, if it comes back down, I would like it to sit on that 200-day moving average. But I predict that on Friday, as the market opens, we can see some good news coming out of that conference, which can cause some heavy volume. And throughout the week, we can have Apple make a nice jump up. But not only Apple has some news, but FireEye also has a little news too. So as we see, FireEye has just went down and touched this 200-day moving average. It went all the way down to about $17.89. But we also see it on Friday, there was a nice bullish volume. But just a couple of days before that, we can see a nice gap down. So we know we like to play those gaps around that 200-day moving average. So we're playing that gap on that 200-day moving average. Hopefully we can see that, fill that gap. FireEye contracts typically is not too expensive, so I will get some time on this to make sure that you're not hurt on theta. But also, when we're looking at this, we can look at the news, and this is some real good news that I found was that President and COO John Waters just bought 10% more shares of FireEye. So when you're looking at companies and you see one of their leaders buying heavy volume of their company that they run, that is great. You don't want them selling it. He just bought 10% of this company, which gives him a little bit more say so as well. But he must know there's some news that's coming out. So we also can utilize Yahoo Finance with a lot of good news and things that help us with our fundamental analysis. All right, but this is one of the biggest things where I like to see is pretty much this right here. How I had this quote. It said another way to test the alignment between the leaders of a company and other shareholders is how many shares they own. And so if you see him, he just bought 10 more percent. So he's buying more. He's going heavy on his company. He's one of the leaders. So this can be some good news because he know that his company is valued more than $18.92. So it's a possibility that we could see this movement up into the $20 next week and into the future. So let's pay attention to this. I think we can get some big moves out of FireEye. Let's get a couple weeks on this contract, and that's going to be something that's going to help us make some money. All right. So the next company that I have for us on our watch list is DG, and that's Dollar General. So we see Dollar General just recently had earnings at the end of May. It kind of made a nice little drop off, but it's making its way back up. It's hitting and trying to break that 200-day moving average. So if it can break that 200-day moving average at 207.22, and I also will set a nice little reminder right here, alert for it to alert me if it breaks that level 207.22. So we can see historically it has been a nice level of resistance a few times, but it's coming across. We can see multiple days of bullish volume that's coming in here. All right. So let's see if I wanted to break here and get above all these moving averages, build a line of support. So let's get a little time, but I can see this coming up to about 212. So we can be a $6 to $7 move, and that can get us some pretty solid money in Dollar General investments. All right. So that's our episode of the Sunday's watch list. Please tune in. We got a lot of big news coming up. And this Wednesday, we have a class having it live on Zoom. So make sure you follow us on Facebook. I will make sure I share that Zoom link with whoever want to share and understand and learn the stock market. So follow me, tap in. Let's take flight.